Thank you, Diego, for taking out time today and talking to CRN. It is a pleasure having a chat with you this morning. So first like to understand that you have now spent almost 10 months, about to complete a year in Ingram Micro India. So how has been, first of all, your experience meeting not only the internal stakeholders, but also your channel ecosystem, which and being the #1 national distributor in the country, how has been your experience? Probably if you can start with that.
Yeah, I think, thank you for coming to our office and being interested in understanding more of what we're doing in India. It's been an amazing ride these past 10 months. I really enjoy being in India. I always tell everyone that the partner ecosystem, our vendors, and my team, they made me feel at home since day one. So, personal in terms of how I'm living in India, I think it's really positively. Business-wise, I think we have had I would say a lot of engagements with partners. We have several events that started with the business transformation event last year in Trivandrum. Then we have our One APAC event. We have our Pinnacle event, which is a great forum to get to know with our partner ecosystem and vendors. So the feedback that we get on this level of engagement is quite positive. So yeah, I'm here to contribute, to learn. I have had the chance throughout this month to learn about the Indian market, which is somewhat similar from the market that I've been working with. So, very happy and excited,
So if you talk about the IT channel ecosystem and the industry per se, with your experience in the past at a different country where you were kind of heading Ingram there, how has the overall industry evolved with your experience when you interact with partners in different regions and when you interact with partners here? What sort of impression that you get, and how you as a company kind of transitioning yourself so that you are able to kind of reap rich dividends as you go along?
Yeah, so I think we are more in a revolution than transformation. Things are going very quick, and in the past it was all about just the product, the technical capabilities of the product, and now things are leaning more on how information is becoming the asset where everyone is around it. How you capture information, how you manage it, how you analyze it, how you store it, how you secure it. All is becoming around information platforms, and those are new concepts. Aside from that, you see that customers, this is it's not secret that there are many more stakeholders at end users acquiring technology. So the discussion has to be changed, when at selling technology. Customers are looking for outcomes that can make their business more profitable at the end, because we sell technology for mostly companies, or enterprises. So that is a big evolution, and the partner ecosystem needs to adapt, and we are also adapting ourselves, and we are investing in several areas that probably you will ask me later, in how we navigate, how we sell products in a different way, instead of looking at outcomes, how products can change people and companies' lives, and how information and the way you manage that information, it's becoming more of the most important thing at looking at technology.
Right. So looking at this changing market dynamics, if you could highlight some of the key initiatives that has been taken from your side, which is kind of not helping your partner ecosystem but also Ingram internally.
Yeah, so I think since my arrival in India, we dedicated 3 months of really understanding the mega trends of the market, understanding the capabilities of the market, either our vendor ecosystem as well as our partner ecosystem, and see what plans we need to develop ourselves to adapt and lead those mega trends. The outcome of those introspective, let's say, type of analysis was a strategic plan that we presented to our board, and it got approved June the 1st for the next 3 years, which is aligned with the mega trends that you see and I mentioned earlier. But also there is a significant amount of investment in enabling more our ecosystem of partners. We created a consulting division that we have started recently on doing business transformation workshops. Succession planning, we know, is a little bit of an issue, not in India, in mostly every country, because owner or family-owned companies, we are coming to a time where there has to be a change in leadership, and sometimes that could be an issue in some small and medium companies or partners. So we have significant investments around cloud, cybersecurity, what I mentioned about consulting, business transformation, how we accelerate even more the adoption of e-commerce platforms. We do quite well already, but you see more in India is a clear example on leading that way, how omni-channel strategy via platforms and endless aisle type of concepts are becoming more and more relevant, and even more after the FDI new regulations. And that will create probably a more level playing field, which allow other companies to participate in that market. So those things we are doing it already, and obviously we expect. So we started with an execution plan a year ago. 7 months ago, and we're seeing good results already. And aside from that, is how also we look inwards at the quality and skills of our teams to really go and take to the market those technology solutions. And another dimension that we are including in that is the vertical market specialization. You can have horizontal technical solutions like storage or security, but in each horizontal solutions, the adoption and the features in the retail market is different than in the healthcare, is different than manufacturing, and education and finance, financial services are different. So we need to manage a couple of dimensions, which is technology solution, the vertical market specialization, the enabling mean of our own sales force plus our ecosystem of partners, and the alignment of all that with professional services and the solutions that our vendors wants to deploy in India.
Okay. So before we talk more about the current scenario wherein you are working, I want you to kind of take us a little step back and help us understand that while you have played a very significant role in establishing Ingram Brazil, and the company boasts a lot about it, and so what sort of best practices that you have implemented there, that you kind of implemented here in India, that has kind of helped, or you still in that phase where it's batch processing is happening, and you think that next 4 or 5 years it will start reaping benefits?
I think we're a global company, so continuously we are trying our best to implement best practices, not from Brazil, but from any country. That's not just restrained to Brazil. That being said, Brazil and India, they are quite similar countries, mostly driven by fragmentation. Is a really fragmented market, which is probably the result of a really complex tax environment. India moved to the GST tax regime. Brazil is still with the VAT regime, which creates that extra complexity that you had or we had in India a year plus ago. Okay, so you know, solutions can be equal. So things like consulting in the countries that I've been managing, our portfolio of cloud and advanced technologies as a percentage of the total business, it was higher than here. So that brings you, you know, more contributions to the team on how we can be better at the way we provide professional services, the way we look at our portfolio in advanced technologies around security, storage, high performance computing, enterprise software. So those are the things that we're working. There has been a lot of interaction between the teams from India to other countries. And also what we're doing is exporting best practices out of India, because in many cases we have excellent and leading processes or initiatives in India that we are exporting as we speak. Okay, so you know, it's a really enriching type of activities that you then engage with my peers, okay, where we share what we do. And probably lastly, where I would say things that I probably are valuable for this organization here is, you know, in Brazil we had a terrible economic environment for many years in a row, okay? That makes you really look inward and see how you can make the most out of the organization that you do, okay? And looking at the way you set objectives, aligning with your strategy, the look at the way you look at your logistic networks and many other things, which we are doing it here in order to make our business more effective and more productive, in order to, you know, advance better in the market. Okay, so those are the things that I would say that have been my contribution, but not only things that we are importing, but also things that we are exporting as well from India.
Okay. So since we are seeing the transition happening in the market, lot of traditional players evolving with the time, and they're putting a lot of focus on upskilling and reskilling themselves. They're doing a lot of classroom trainings with the support of OEMs, vendors, and big vendors like you all. So how you are kind of looking at this whole changing game plan? How are you kind of transitioned with the time in terms of, like, we know the business, as when we say Ingram as a national distributor, it was only looking at the boxes, but now you have also moved into the solution space. You have developed your own cloud practice or cybersecurity practice. So how you kind of gearing your own resources to address the sort of requirements coming from the market?
Yeah, so and that's why I think it's a misconception that the people may have about Ingram, about moving boxes. Our advanced technology business is the #1 in the country. Okay, the thing is, we have a larger, you know, what we call commodity business in the mobility space or in the consumer space. But when you fragmented the business, okay, you know, I'm very proud of my company and my team that, you know, we have taken the lead in pretty much every segment. Okay, so as you said, as you rightly say, you know, new technologies, there is a lot of new enablement that has to be done in our sales force, management team, and also how you translate and you put it down to the trenches to your ecosystem of partners. And you know, we are doing much more or putting much more emphasis on training, certifications. We have probably the broadest portfolio of certifications in higher end technologies in the country. Okay, it is something that you need to continue, because certifications they expire. So you need to continue to have a good team of people that they are being trained continuously, so we can support partners. Okay, because of the many technologies being deployed at the same time with which are rather complex, partners are looking even more at our support. Okay. So, we have a team of almost 40 people, right, Sen? 40 to 50 people in professional services, which is not only to sell white label services to our partners, but also they are the fronting team to help partners to develop complex solutions. Okay, so and I think that's a journey. That's not something that you do and you stop. Okay?
Right.
Which I think you and everyone needs to have the discipline to continuously and the curiosity to continuously upgrade your skills. And what I tell also my team is Ingram will facilitate that. Okay, to our internal team, ecosystem of partners, but we will not be responsible. So I think it's every one of us needs to have the curiosity and drive to be better at what we do. Okay, obviously we will facilitate that. We will drive some initiatives, but we will not be, the person or the entity leading that. Okay, I think it depends on each single individual.
So, what's the current bifurcation like? As you mentioned, that commodity business is still, it's looked at like Ingram, people relate to it in that fashion, but you say that advanced technology business is contributing more. So, so what's the kind of bifurcation like? How much is the contribution?
We don't give specifics by BU. What I can tell you, we segment our business in pure cloud. Okay, cloud in India, we continue to be the second largest cloud market for Ingram Micro after the US. Okay. Which is really a success story because the cloud market in India is not the number 2 cloud market after the US. Okay, there are other markets, other regions. Okay, so that tells you that we are leading the pack there, not only in India but worldwide. But I'm very proud that India is the second one. Then we segment our business in advanced solutions. Okay. Which I had told you already that we are by far the largest today leading that. It represents a significant amount of our profitability in the company. Usually, as that business requires more support to partners, there are, the life cycle of deals are longer because, there is a lot of demos, POCs, a lot of more support. You are being able to get compensated more because of that. Then we segmented our business in what we call our volume commercial and consumer IT products. And then we have our, in terms of product, IT. Then we have what we call the areas of pure services, which is one is CFS, CFS, commerce and fulfillment solutions, all related to logistics services, platforms, e-commerce services, life cycle services, where we provide all around IT asset disposition and regeneration of products, and then our professional service area, which is which our consulting division falls there, plus the technical services of implementation, sales engineering, or project engineer and so forth.
So you talk about this lifestyle service. We know that Ingram is working heavily in that e-waste management and all. So has it really picked up in India, according to you, in your interactions with customers, partners? Because we have been talking about it for fairly long time, but we are not actually seeing that.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. The speed could have been a lot better, I would say, or our expectations, they were higher than what it is actually happening. But it is something that it will have to explode. Okay, you know what I mean? Because of the size of the country, the 1.3 plus billion people here, the fact that even with normal waste, we don't know where to put that. Okay, in the country. Okay, so I think waste in any time is becoming more of an issue, and technology waste is becoming, it's probably a hidden issue, okay? But in terms of size and impact to the environment, you know, it's really impactful in a negative way if you don't provide the right, you know, waste process, okay? So we are very bullish on that, okay? It's a matter of maturity, but we want to be there to lead that, okay? Because eventually it's happening. There is a lot of informal channel on that, I would say.
Yeah, right.
But I think customers, they start to realize, and again, going back to my comment on information, that you need to have a dependent and reliable partner that you trust to dispose not only your equipment, but also the information that is in your equipment. So the way that also information is discarded will be more of a important element in the future as customers realize that not many ITAD suppliers, they have a strong process around it.
So any specific effort being put to kind of create awareness, educate the market,
Yes.
and at the same time making it mainstream as we go along?
In that effort particularly?
Yeah.
SN, who is our marketing, we are already in execution on how we take to market those solutions, okay? We do quite well, okay? But it still is a small business compared to our sheer size as a company. So yes, we are doing things there. So, you know, we should expect good results, okay?
Okay. So talking about cloud as a solution, we are seeing that it has become again a reality now. Deployments happening, customers of all sizes have started deploying and leveraging it. So what about some of the other digital technologies that now we are talking in, and at every platform where you go, every organization is talking about going digital transformation journey. So how are you kind of looking at the technologies like AI, machine learning, IoTs? Because I believe Ingram is also working on some of the smart cities with some specialized partners in the country. So what's your take on that?
So on cloud, I would say, just to a couple of comments, you know, not only we provide services to our customers, but also our customers can use our own platform to resell their own cloud services. If you don't know, 2/3 of the telcos worldwide, they use our Cloud Blue platform, okay? So, and you will see that more and more big or medium enterprise will start to need their own platform to sell and manage their own cloud services. So, you know, we offer that to partners. On cloud, you have a couple of motions, SaaS, which is now becoming more of a commodity, and then platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. On infrastructure as a service, that's where we are investing heavily in supporting partners to deploy IaaS solutions. SaaS is, on the complexity side, is less complex, because it's somewhat as a consumer product, you know, you buy and consume, but infrastructure is a lot different because it's running your data center on the cloud. So, you know, you run critical solutions, mission critical solutions there, so it's a little bit of a different motion. Then on the other areas that you mentioned on IoT, we have an IoT team, okay, reporting into our advanced solutions area, where we have elements. We are building up our portfolio of IoT providers, that, you know, you can look at in our web. We have a good and extensive way, and we are deploying that also in Asia Pacific and worldwide. IoT is one of our strategic investments, I would say, on how we you know, sign up with IoT providers, and you will see that the specialization by vertical market, it becomes more critical, because usually IoT providers, they address a few segments, which today I would say is logistics, transportation, and mining or natural resources management, but more will come at an accelerated pace in healthcare and a few other industries. So I'm very happy on how we are doing there. We have a team dedicated here. As you rightfully said, we participated and we led many smart cities projects, or optimistic around it. Okay.
So any specific kind of efforts again being put to develop these practices, be it IoT or artificial intelligence as a unit, because that is going to become order of the day as we progress, maybe in a couple of years down the line.
Yeah, we have those. We have partners that we represent that they sell machine learning. We are also looking at blockchain. Okay, we have vendors that also and blockchain people, they believe that it's only cryptocurrencies.
Right,
it's a lot more than that. Okay, but I think we still are. The market is still in exploration mode.
Sure.
But we are doing also our own exploration to find what is the proper go-to-market and business model to monetize all that. Okay, because it is not easy. Okay, but we are deploying solutions on using. Artificial intelligence or machine learning already. Okay, IBM, Microsoft, they have their own solutions, so we are partners with them. So I think it's you will see the adoption of those even more, and you see, or we're seeing what we call cloud-born partners, which they are coming with those innovative solutions, which they are not the traditional partner that we used to deal, or they've been in the market for many years. There are a lot of startups that are starting to appear using those innovative technologies.
So when you talk about this born in cloud kind of partners, and they are kind of here to stay, and they are kind of changing the whole market which has been operated traditionally in India. So do you think that Ingram already being in the market for such a long period, already having an army of partners, instead of kind of training them up, enabling them, or instead of that you are looking at getting these new breed of partners on board and doing business in specialized areas? Do you think how?
You have to do both, okay? Because in your traditional partners, there is a fair share of those that they want to adopt new technologies. And that's where our consulting services enter in, helping them how to establish new business unit, how you need to commission your salespeople is different, okay? When you are in creating your own green, inorganic initiative within your company, your green initiative. So you need to do both. You need to help the current ecosystem of partners, and also help the new ones, the born in the cloud, which the strength that they have is cloud. In my view, is the democratization of technology. Okay, so anyone can have access at a very affordable price to the latest technologies. In the past, having a state-of-the-art data center, it was a luxury of higher-end enterprise. Now, you can buy from whatever provider, a data center in the cloud, and you have access immediately in a couple of hours to a state-of-the-art. So that have shortened a lot, the time to market solutions that you want to deploy, and then your infrastructure, it doesn't become a bottleneck. So you will see more of that, and you will see a lot of churn also in our current ecosystem that probably they are not adopting those technologies fast enough. There is a new ecosystem of partners coming in, and you will have a churn. But I think in quantity, it will be always the same, okay? Because this is not the first transformational thing that we are seeing in the market. Internet was one of them. And if you see in passing the story, more or less the number of partners, they remain the same. Obviously, the mix changes completely, okay? And that's what I believe we're seeing it. And we are committed to enable our partner, because if they are not enabled enough, the technology solutions are there. We just have to have widen our capacity in the channel so they can go to market and route to market those solutions as fast enough, because also we need to deliver the numbers on a quarterly basis and pay our bills. So it's not just only strategy, because you need to monetize all that. And that's why with all these things going on of, as you said, machine learning, cybersecurity, IoT, platforms, and data capture and point of sale solutions, physical security, enterprise software, there are many new fronts that you can open. But I think partners need to choose on how you can really excel at one technology or one segment and stick to it. Because I believe that we are entering into a phase of specialization where as the customer becomes more savvy, because it's no longer the IT director or CIO buying technology products, the conversation is different in the lines of business. So you really need to know what you are selling. Okay, so that's why you need to be specialized. So that's probably one of advice that I could give. Okay, humbly, on partners to really pick one technology and excel at that. And not try to boil the ocean, because I think you will not get good results.
So when you, again, just a last question on cloud aspect, while you are being very bullish, you are contributing immensely to the global Ingram, but at the same time, in last couple of years, we are seeing the global giants like the AWS has been there, but likes of Alibaba, the Google establishing their own GCP business here in the country, and they are looking for their own pie. So where do you think amongst these all pure cloud players you will be able to make your own foothold in the market and get your own share?
Well, I think we are getting that. I think there was a misconception in the past that with the new cloud models, the intermediation of those cloud models will cease to exist. That meaning cloud companies like the ones you mentioned will be able to cater directly in customers. At the end, that is not the case. Okay, it doesn't happen. And for example, you mentioned one, Amazon, who used to be a direct motion, now they have their ecosystem of partners. Salesforce.com the same, and some others. And why is that? The technology is amazing, state of the art, but you need a consultant to help you as an end customer to drive you to adopt that digital transformation. Okay, you as a, let's say you're a SMB company, let's say 100 crore company, 200 people. Do you think that you will go to their website and provision all the service and all that all by yourself, and then switch off all your systems, do your own backup? No. So that's why I really believe, and Ingram really believes, on the strength and future of the ecosystem of partners. Okay. So I think, answering your question, okay, you'll see that the leverage model of one-to-many, which is, at the end, what you leverage out of your ecosystem of partners, it is here to be here, okay? If you see our numbers in cloud, you will be shocked on the amount of new partners that they are onboarding, and how our cloud business, which is our fastest growing business since the last 6 years, okay? It's growing at 40-50% year over year, okay? With partners increasing. So partners is the route to go. They go to marketplaces, they buy the services, they provision, they control, and they sell those services to the customers, okay? And that will happen, and they are enabling them more, they will become better consultants to even then redeploy more and more solutions downstream to end users.
So another area which I think you are kind of looking, because of the recent development of you signing up with UiPath, the area of robotic process automation. So how do you think, where do you think this is going to have an impact, and how are you kind of building yourself to address that?
Well, we are a user of UiPath, okay? Not only, and probably I will relate this comment that the technology that we sell, we use it internally. Okay, it's not the case in many other companies. Okay, so robotics and automation, it is something that around with machine learning, it is something that is here to stay. Okay, and I think we should. We are investing in that because I think that will help to relieve working hours of workforce, so then they can focus on other things. Okay, that brings productivity. There is an interesting statistics. This is related to the U.S. market. That in 5 years, approximately, there will be the impact of digital transformation, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, whatever you want to call it, will bring productivity savings of 30 billion working hours in the U.S. economy. Imagine what you can do with 30 billion working hours. Okay, imagine also how you can, using that technology, be more efficient at the way you use your car, the way you, real estate can be reused because there will be less cars on the road, gas station, they will not be as much needed because there is a increased share of electric cars. So, and it doesn't mean that we will be replaced by people, okay, by machines. Sorry, new things will come. On artificial intelligence, probably you might have heard, IBM with Watson, they have a cancer practice around using Watson. Okay, true. That gives even more empowerment to doctors, where a doctor can go through 25,000 cases of cancer in his span of professional life. In the Watson library, you have I think 200,000 cases that it can give some sort of guidance to the doctor immediately. Okay, right. So imagine how technology can help us to achieve greater things, and that's where we're seeing that. And related to UiPath, okay, it's an important partner that we have. They are somewhat leading that market, which complemented by other brands. We can really put into our reseller hands a compelling solution for them to resell.
So are you kind of engaging with some specialized partners, because we don't have that many RPA partners who are not skilled in that?
Yeah, we are. You must also know that in India there are many contact centers, okay, and many the service industry is rather big here. That automation it is coming, it is helping those companies to become more productive. So I think yes, there are some specialized partners, and our duty will be to bring more partners, because I think the opportunity is great there, and there are low-hanging fruits that any company can capitalize in implementing even simple solutions.
So lastly, Diego, I'd like to understand from you, since we are the beginning of a new year, so what are your kind of immediate plans for say 2019-20, which are the areas where you're going to put your money on? And secondly, why is it imperative for an organization like Ingram of your scale and size to have a right ecosystem in place, be it people, processes, infrastructure, and which will include the training, enablement, everything?
Yeah. So plans for 19 for us is to continue executing our strategy that we have already defined, which I mentioned is around e-commerce platforms, accelerates our advanced technology solutions into the market, accelerate our cloud portfolio and our Cloud Blue platform, continue helping partners to deploy enterprise solutions with a focus on vertical markets. All around digital marketing, we are spending a significant amount of time and money in helping partners to also promote themselves and their service in a smarter way. Okay. and a few other initiatives. So that is the focus. We are not deviating from that. Okay, and that's what we believe it will continue. Giving Ingram what we need to continue be relevant in this market. Okay. On the right channel ecosystem, I think it's we already have it. Okay, okay. You know, our very loyal partners. If you see our net promoting score, which is a survey that we send to how many thousands of partners? We sent
8,000.
So we sent every 2 years, every year, sorry, we sent our customer service survey, okay, to 8,000 partners.
So this is pan-India or?
No, pan-India, no. Worldwide is
more than hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, okay. And you could see throughout the years how our net promoting score, which is positive, many companies is negative, how it is growing. So that meaning that our partners, they are valuing all that we do, and that we are becoming more and more and more the partner of preference. More inward, we have revisit a lot of internal processes that they were a little bit bureaucratic. Because of the size of the company, sometimes you end up in many processes, too bureaucratic or whatever you want to call it. So we have revisited that. We have revisited our go-to-market force to be more, or to gain more stickiness with our partner ecosystem. And as a result of that, we are adding more and more partners every month, and our net promoting score it's increasing. So which is, the customer feel better about doing business with Ingram. So I take advantage of this interview to thank my partners, both resellers and vendors, because their support has been great, and without them we couldn't be the company that we are now. Okay, and we are there to serve them. So I'm quite happy on how the company is prepared from an internal point of view, the portfolio that we have, as well as the ecosystem of partners that we have and vendors supporting us to really see in the next years, not just 19, I'm a little bit more of a medium to longer term view, okay? Really good things out of India. I'm very happy. The company is quite happy on how we are performing here. We are the second profitable company within Ingram Micro as well. So we need to continue innovating, okay, and push our internal boundaries to see what else we can learn, and with that, hopefully, we contribute to have a better country, okay, and.
All right. Thank you, Diego. Thanks a lot again for talking to us today. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the readers of CRN. Always a great ally of Ingram.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the time. Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.